Let's bring in ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy for more on this. Mick, thanks for being here. How provocative are these war games that Russia is staging with its allies in Belarus?
So very provocative, Diane. I think, as Terry reported, we're about 70% to the point of having enough forces for a full-on invasion. They're looking at opening multiple points and multiple avenues of approach, which includes now amphibious assaults, which would cause even more dilemma for the Ukrainians in trying to oppose the invasion. I think we're at a very dangerous stage with getting close to a military capability of readiness to invade. We have 83 what they call battalion tactical groups. That's how Russia fights, available now, and 14 on the way. So militarily, they're almost ready. Whether they're politically ready is another question.
So based on what you've seen in terms of the troops and the equipment that are staged on the border, what do you think a potential Russian invasion could look like?
So I think they're looking at either a limited invasion, largely into the Russian-speaking eastern side of the country, which would have a lot of consequences, negative consequences to both sides, or a full-scale invasion, which would have massive consequences. As the Intelligence Committee reported this week, that could include 50,000 civilian casualties, 25,000 Ukrainian military casualties, and up to 5 million refugees pouring into neighboring countries, including NATO countries. So this could be extensive. It could cause an extensive amount of human deaths, and the occupation would be incredibly intense, as Ukrainians are very much ready to fight, and the United States has provided them a lot of the capabilities to fight, both to oppose an invasion and to create a significant insurgency after one occurs.
Now, how much of a deterrent are the U.S. troops that are being deployed to neighboring countries?
So I think we should look at that primarily to bolster the security of our NATO allies. However, if you look at after the occupation, when the insurgency starts, in order for insurgencies to be successful, they have to have a safe haven. The most likely safe haven for Ukrainians is going to be in Poland. They have a large ethnic Ukrainian population, and of course, all the refugees from Ukraine which will be there, which will allow them to hide. So you'll have an insurgency out of a NATO country fighting back into their own country. This, as the Ukrainian president has pointed out, will rapidly turn into a war that is beyond the borders of Ukraine and includes NATO countries. So having the U.S. forces there bolsters their security and prepares for this eventuality in the spillover of this war in Ukraine should it occur. We should all hope that it does not. We should all hope that the diplomatic efforts today happening in multiple capitals are successful.
And there are several high-level diplomatic meetings going on today, including a one-on-one with Vladimir Putin and French President Emmanuel Macron. So how much longer do you think this whole thing can go on for before we either see a resolution or an invasion?
So I think this is essentially a crisis of Russia's own making, and it is a crisis they could end. If they think that this somehow bolsters their standing on the world stage, to have everybody talking about them, having multiple phone calls with the U.S. presidents and having visits to Moscow, then perhaps this keeps going. It does have dire consequences for Russia should they decide to actually invade. They will be successful probably in their occupation, but the intensity of the insurgency I cannot overstate. And the fact that this could spill over could cause great economic hardship to Russia, isolation, and just further damage to the Russian reputation. So let's hope that we can find another way out of this other than an actual conflict.
All right, Mick Mulroy, always great to have your analysis, Mick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.